Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance, and this is a Fifi La Pipu, the 105 leFH18B2 French Tier 5 Premium SPG, and we're on the south spawn of Erlenberg. Now this battle is rather special because it's the first battle for somebody with their Fifi. In fact, actually it's this time the commander is Major Nuisance. He's bought himself a Fifi. I think he bought the kit or the code, and he's now trying it out for the first time, and I'm sure he's going to enjoy this because anyone who's owned a Fifi who knows exactly how it performs will tell you it is a monster. It is fantastic, Arty. Lining up that Panzer 38NA. It's a long way away, but that first shot was still very good. It was in the neighbourhood. It was close, but not quite on target. Now, Fifi's got a 10.5 centimetre howitzer. It's a German howitzer. It's very accurate, very good. And that Panzer 38NA is dashing away, but there's some better targets, including a T28 there. Unfortunately, wasn't fully dialed in that shot. Okay, there's that Panzer 38NA again, and he's now rather stationary because he's spotting, but he's been taken out by that Lux, so we don't have to worry about him anymore. Now, where did that T28 go to? And the Strudny 39, and there was an M4 around there somewhere. We're waiting until we can sight them, because then Major Nuisance can dial in his aim and shoot them. Right, a Lux up in the castle fort yard. No, he pulls back behind the building, so he's already safe in that spot. But when he pulls forward like that, he's not already safe. Oh, that one hit the building. Oh, dials in again. The great thing about Fifi is it does dial in very quickly. And that round hit. He definitely got a hit there. That's his first hit. Dials in again, rounds out. And he got him! He destroyed the Lux! That's his first kill with his new Fifi. Okay, Chaffee making its way towards this side of the map. Rounds out. Oh, that was close as well. You can see that it doesn't have much of a splash, the Fifi, but it's very accurate. See, that shell landed just about where that Chaffee was. Still trying to chase him. Yeah, the one thing about the Fifi though is you do have to watch out for is that it's very easy to use up all your ammo very quickly if you're chasing objects that are manoeuvring and jumping from one place to the other. Oh, that was close on the Covenanter there. Now he's got some heavies here he can fire at. KV1 Type 95. Now they're rather slow. That was rather in the centre though. He needs to go after the heavies. But the Covenant is a light tank. He's not going to get much off that, and it's going to manoeuvre, which makes it difficult to hit him. Whereas those heavies are going to be slow and sluggish and easy to hit. Rounds out on the Type 95. Now keep going. Keep plugging those heavies. Rounds out. That was close. Very close. Now he's having to back away now because A, he's lost sight of the enemy, and B, they're headed in this direction, so he needs to get into a place where he can shoot on the cap and shoot on the enemy without being taken out himself. And we can see that Skoda T24 has crossed the river using the bridge, and the Chaffee's coming across the ford. Or is he? No, he's not. He's decided to stay on the left side of the bank. And that Skoda is fighting with the Lux at the moment. And he's got into the cap. And Major Nuisance needs to find a spot, turn round, and start firing back into the cap. Oh, they've lost the Covenanter and they lost that Skoda. That's good work. Skoda was taken out by the Type 95, which is up on the hill, I think, isn't it? Very unusual. Okay, now let's see. Well, the Chaffee's chasing that Kiho, and that Kiho didn't have much health left, but he can hit that KV1. Just got to give it a bit of lead on that. Remember, your shots are travelling a long way, so you've got to give a little lead. No, that's too much lead. That Matilda had stopped. And he's backing away now because he knows he's in trouble. No, that was firing where he was. You need to fire where he's going to be. The one thing about you'd say about the Fifi, yeah, best not to waste shells firing at the sides of buildings. You need a direct hit to do damage. You can't splash your target. You need to hit it directly. Like that Chaffee's now stationary. You need to dial in your aim on him. Oh no, that's a wasted shot. You've got to dial in your aim on the target to ensure that you do get a hit. Otherwise, if you just fire with a loose reticule all the time, you won't hit the target. There's no splash on the Fifi as well, negligible splash. So you need to get a direct hit. And you're running out of HE. You're going to be onto the heat round soon, and that's going to be expensive. There's a KV1 across the river, stationary, and I don't think he's seen that. The Chaffee, he's chasing this Chaffee, and the Chaffee's doing it deliberately. He wants to get into cover, but he wants to attract your attention and leave the KV1 unmolested. And that KV1 is just across the river. Now somebody was telling him to fall back, but you see now he's only got 3 rounds of HE, 8 rounds of heat, and 8 rounds of AP. Now the thing about the heat is you have to hit the target to make the heat work, and so it's not gonna help if you get a sort of like near miss with a heat round. And the AP only works if you directly hit the target as well, but it can be very effective. So it is, after all, a 10.5 centimeter round, so it's got a lot of punch to it. Okay, now that Matilda was last seen on the other side of the river, along with the Strodny 39. Strodny means medium in Czech, I believe. Of course, we abbreviate it to ST. Right, that Type 95, they're all facing each other off over the river. But the enemy does have an advantage. They've got 6 against Major Nuisance's 4. Now, you would have thought that they would have crossed the river and tried to press their advantage. It looks like they have. KV1 has come across the river on the bridge. And there's the Matilda. He's coming across the south bridge. So they are starting their attack. And now would be the perfect opportunity to dial in the aim on that Matilda, because it's a very slow moving tank, and fire some AP rounds at him. He's actually flying heat. Major Nuisance is firing a heat round. No, that didn't work. You've lost sight of him, so hold on to your rounds until you can see him. No, very expensive. Hugely expensive. Now you switch back to HE again. We can't see where the Matilda's gone. Can't spot him. The good thing about the Fifi is it's got a long view range, 390 meters. Now, that wasn't fully dialed in. You need to dial the aim in fully to get the full effect. Right, now you can see the KV1. And now would be a good time to switch to heat, because a heat round will do a lot of damage to that KV1. Right. Only 1 round of HE left. I always carry mostly HE, only a couple of rounds of heat, just in case I have an opponent who I know is going to be on 1-to-1 with me, and is either a heavy tank or a medium, and I know a heat round is going to do a lot of hurt to him. Okay, now he's dialing the aim in correctly. That's right, he's dialing it in. Direct hit! That's how it's done. You let the round dial in and accurately, and you cannot miss. And when you do hit the target, it's devastating. That's the thing about Fifi. So that's 2 kills that Major Nuisance has got, and we're now just looking for the Hetzer. Now, he was last seen up near the spawn point, so he may be an AFK. Okay, it looks like to me that everybody is headed north, but Major Nuisance doesn't need to head north because he can hit that that hetzer all the way back from where he is at the moment. That's the other great thing about the Fifi. It's got a fantastic range. He's almost at the maximum extent of his range. You can see that because the reticule is rather flattened. It's oval instead of round. And the further up he aims, it will get flatter and flatter. And you can see there's the maximum range. But I think the target, there it is. Oh, and he's within range. He's not an AFK. Rounds out. Oh, that was so close. That was so close. That was. He's firing heat rounds at the moment because he's run out of HE, but no need to worry because the hetzer has been taken out by the Type 95. So let's have a look and see how that battle went. Right, well, it's a Major Nuisance managed to get a Bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. He got 10 in that battle. In fact, he got 6 critical hits on the looks alone. So that was a really effective shot, that one, where he took out the looks in the castle courtyard. Very effective indeed. And it was a blind kill as well. So well done indeed. If we look at the team scores, we can see, well, he only got 357 hit points, but he did come second or joint second with 2 kills. And his base XP was 398, which was 6th on the list. Right, he fired 31 rounds, got 3 direct hits, 3 penetration, 2 splash, damage of 357 hit points, all at more than 300 meters. He hit 4 of the enemy, killed 2 of them. He also did damage assistance of 74 hit points. On a premium account rather, he earned 20,390 credits. But after ammunition resupplying, he did use a lot of heat. He actually took away a deficit of 1,914 credits. He earned XP of 597. It was ×3 to the first victory of the day, and because Fifi is a premium vehicle, he gets an additional 239, so his total was 2,030 experience points. Now that's the good thing about Fifi. It does train your crews really quick, and it won't be long before you've got a 3 or even a 4 skilled crew, and that will make that crew really effective. And if you share that crew with one of the other Arties, one of the other French Arties, you will really be effective in that other Arty as well at the same time. So really great. But the one thing I should say, and I did point out during the battle, was that it pays to carry a lot of HE in Fifi, because you do a lot of damage with the HE rounds, and a near miss might actually track a vehicle, track it long enough so you can put the next round directly into it and kill it. And it is one of those Arties, one of those premium vehicles, which still carries heat rounds. So remember, those heat rounds are very expensive, but they are very effective if you do get a direct hit. So might be a good idea just to carry a couple of heat rounds and a couple of AP rounds if you've got a target which you want to take on face to face, whilst the rest of the time you just carry pure HE, because HE is really cheap, really cheap. But AP and, well, heat rounds are very expensive. AP rounds are relatively cheap as well. But that would be my recommendation. The other thing to recommend is you do need a gun laying drive. You do need a rammer. So once you've fitted those 2 things in to actually speed up your rate of fire, and potentially got brothers in arms on your crew as well, then you let the aim dial in. So you want to fully dial in on the target, but once you're fully dialed in, it's uncannily accurate, almost as accurate as the bishop. And you will strike targets and keep striking them, keep tracking them, and you will really frustrate heavy tank drivers because they will hate being hit repeatedly again and again and again. Eventually they will have to burn their repair kit just to get moving, and then when you track them again, you've got them for good. So good first battle, Major Nuisance. You did win. You got 2 kills, which are very nice, and you did get some nice shots in there. The one on the looks and the one that finished off the Matilda was good shots. But do spend more time dialing in that aim. Try not to fire at targets that are moving fast, until you actually got your hand in, your eye in on these vehicles, because it pays to go after vehicles that are slow and easy to hit. So if you enjoyed this replay, please give it a like and do subscribe to our channel, and hopefully it'll be your replay I'll be featuring in our next video.